No, you're not Stewie. Where's Stewie? Where is Stewie? On my bed? Oh, look at you. Huh? Lounging on my bed. So if you guys haven't noticed, I'm working on the quality of my videos. So my first step is I was doing 1080 and 30 frames a second. I stepped it up to 60 frames a second. So if you haven't noticed, my videos are a lot smoother right now, which I actually have the capabilities to do 100 frames a second or 120 frames a second with this camera, which I don't think YouTube can, you know, even process that. I think they down frame it anyway. But I'm going to try 60 frames a second, see how it turns out. I already tested on the computer and it worked great. So I hope all this footage turns out good. Only crappy thing is today it is downpouring, raining, and it has been all day. And I don't really want to work on the Volkswagen outside, so I need to see if I can reserve some space in my dad's garage to get this Volkswagen back together, and I need to gather up a bunch of hardware. And yesterday I went and bought a bunch of speed nuts at the hardware store because I didn't think that the fasteners I ordered were going to be here in time, so I got a assorted packet of them and bolts. Lo and behold, later in the day, my hardware showed up, and I got these off of Amazon, and I'm going to be real honest, these things are way nicer than I thought they would be. It's the hardware and the speed nut, and the nut is actually a nut that is part of this, you know, this clip on here. Comes with a nice Allen key bolt, and it also has a plastic washer on every one of them. I got 40 of them. Actually, I gave 4 of them to the guy that worked on my computer because he's changing a window regulator in a Firebird today, and those window regulators are riveted inside the door, and you have to drill them out, and then it's hard as hell to get a nut back in there. And I said, well, I got the perfect thing for you, and these clipped right on the regulator, and they're going to work perfect for him. So I gave him 4 of them, but I got 40 of them, so I got plenty of them left. So these are also going to look a lot better on the skid plate of a Volkswagen as opposed to these shiny bolts, you know, that I got. They just would look out of place. This is going to look more factory. So what I need to do is get it down to my dad's garage, get it up in the air somehow. I might take my ramps down. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but my ramps work better for these kind of cars. But I'll take those down, get it up. Now I can't use ramps. Just thought about it because I want to pull the driver's side wheel. So we'll pull the driver's side wheel off up on jack stands and get the inner fender, the skid plate on, and then the bumper. I still have pieces I need to put into it, like the fog lights. I need to put some screws in it here and there, and I need to get that wiring harness up front straightened out where it's supposed to go, which I see it clips into the bumper. How I know, I couldn't figure out where it was routed at. The bumper has like little hooks in it that the wiring harness tucks into, so I'll be able to route that the right way. We'll get all the lights hooked up and make sure everything works, and then I'll contact the guy that wants to buy it and see if he wants to take it for a spin. Well, actually, I'm going to take it for a spin first because I want to make sure there's nothing wrong with it. Then we'll contact him and see if he wants to take it for a spin. Alright, so my old Sony camera does 60 frames a second too, and it looks like it's pretty nice and good quality. So I'm going to use that. I tried my Canon. I can't really figure out the settings in it. So it quit raining for a little bit. So I need hardware for this Volkswagen. So I'm going to rob all the bolts off this hatch real quick while I'm thinking about it. Alright, so I got some useful hardware. Bunch of different stuff. What? What do you want? Just wants attention. Just want to get in the shot. That's all you want. Hog my show. This ain't Unwrecked anymore. This is a Stewie show, right? Yep. Okay. I have a bunch of hardware from previous builds too. I'm gonna go get a bag. I have assorted clips and stuff like that. I'm gonna take everything that I have, so hopefully I have all the hardware I need. So first off, I'm gonna load up all of my parts. Here, here's my fog lights. This is my bumper clip. Both inner fenders are here. It's 2 pieces. I gotta go take the bumper off the Volkswagen, the fender. We're gonna load them in the Sonata and take them down to my parents' house and unload them at the garage. Alright, so that bumper took way longer than it should have. Word to the wise. If you're not ready for this bumper to go on, do not clip it in place. These right here clip into the core support, and once they lock in, they are hard as hell to get out, to unlock. So I fought with that bumper for a half an hour just to get it off of there. But we got it. So all the parts are in here. I'm gonna run this down to my parents, and we gotta move my car so we can get this out. I gotta change the battery in this. Let's get shit done. All right. I'm gonna squeeze my butt into this thing. I got it in here tight, and there's cobwebs everywhere. You're going down, spiders. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. I don't want to get that spider on me because I don't like those ones. Get it out of here. Yeah. Oh, I just got shit all over my Sony camera. Water. Hopefully it's okay. Once I get it up out of here, I still got to get out because I forgot I wanted to tuck the wiring harness that I put across the front. I wanted to tuck it up so there's no chance of me ripping it off, because I really don't want to do that. Not going very far, so not really a big deal. But I don't want to rip that almost $200 harness off. I'd cry. Right here. Okay. Now we're good to go. Yeah. Keep forgetting about this electronic brake. It's weird to me.
And we are gonna work with the door open today. I gotta throw some parts in this, I gotta find some hardware, and I brought a bunch of assorted clips, and then this box underneath is a bunch of hardware. So we're gonna have to piece some stuff together. But first things first, I need to bolt this headlight on. I'd like to clean this off, but I want to bolt that headlight on and get this fender put on real quick. So I gotta throw, I'll just do it off camera. I gotta throw a bolt in right here, and then this, I know this needs to come up, but just, I don't have the fender on. Bolts there, 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 here, and then right here's these 3 places, and that's where the bumper mount clips on too. So, and then we'll get this thing up, pull this wheel off. I don't have that. Hopefully there's that in the trunk to pull these caps off. If not, we're gonna make something work. Alright, so after messing with this fender for a while, I had to make up clips. There's clips that pin into the fender, and then you have to run self-tappers into it to hold this on. And I had ones here, but they're too thick. And when you put them on there, they take up too much space and space this out. I was looking at the other side, and that would make this bumper not line up. So what I did was put them in backwards, and I ground these tongs down just so they clipped in, so they barely stick out, and that gave me the clearance, and it looks like it matches the other bumper, the other side. So I'm hoping it fits upright. If it doesn't, I don't know what I'm gonna do here, because it's about in as far as it can go. But I got the headlight. The only problem I have is just I got this small gap right here. I was trying to get it to fit perfect, but the hood lines up perfect. The door gap is perfect. Everything lines up perfect, as you can see. So there's like, let me shut the hood for you so you can appreciate it. Okay, so everything lines up great. It looks really good. Headlight's sturdy now. I think I tightened down everything. Yeah, so I still have 2 more bolts to put in the side over here, and then I'm gonna get the skid plate on, and we'll take this wheel off and work on the inner fenders then. I can tell you the hardest part about this job This job would be easy if all the hardware was here. Just coming up with bolts out of thin air to fit this car is serving to be a problem so far. I got all the fender bolts in now. The fender's sturdy, not going anywhere. Everything lines up, it's good. You see I got bolts there, some up there. Headlight bolts, I had to suffice with robbing a bolt out of this, because this mount right here we don't have on the other side, but look how sturdy it still is. So I robbed that bolt so that I could put it in back here. What sturdies this headlight up, got a bolt in there. I didn't have, closest bolt I had was this one, and it was a 1/4 inch too long. Or yeah, 1/4 inch too long. It was a 1/4 inch too short. So I couldn't catch the threads on it to tighten the headlight up. But it's going to be fine the way it is. So weight reduction, one less bolt in each headlight, so we can go fast, real fast. I also need to think about finishing this up too. Check it out, guys. I got good news. I took all these caps off, and guess what? What is that? Yeah, I found it in the glove box. But still, you know how I love these. So, and I have to use it because there's no other lugs. So, that actually fits pretty tight. I don't think I'm going to break that off. That's a pretty nice setup anyway. So, get this wheel off anyway.
Shooting from the sky as if thrown from Mars. Only try to please, don't let me down. 'Cause we'll start falling, falling, falling towards the ground. We'll start falling, falling, falling. 'Cause we'll start falling, falling, falling. 'Cause we'll start falling.
Alright, so my time on these inner fenders are in. I had, you know, switched my decision. I wanted to put little washers on all those, like self-tapping screws, because they're not very big screws, and they didn't work that great. So I put these little itty bitty washers on them to hold them. There's only a couple in there, and then I put one of those speed nuts right here. When I put the bumper on, then this will go together. Yeah, it's not an OEM flap, so it was hard to get it to line up, but the skid plate's attached to it. I'm not sure if you can see it in there, but the skid plate's all attached. Everything's in place. It's time to throw on the bumper, and I already put the bumper together. Got the wiring harness in it. Fog lights are in. Everything's plugged in. So it's ready to go on. So let's pop this hood. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and throw the wheel on before I get ahead of myself.
I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. I'm not 100% sure where you're supposed to stick the ambient air temperature sensor. I've looked everywhere and I can't find anywhere that it clips in or would clip in unless it's on the car. Actually, that might be it. I'm looking now there's one on this side too. I don't know if that would even work or not. It would be close. It's right by that area. I bet you we could use it. Anyway, let me see if it clips in. And that is exactly where we're gonna put it because it clips in snug. And I thought about putting it back in through this way, but there's a radiator hose like right below it, and that might pick up false temperature readings. So I'm gonna put it through this way, so the sensor's sticking out this way, and that should read pretty good from right there. I feel like that's about the best location for it anyway. The only thing is the harness is attached to the bumper, and that is going to be separate from it, but it'll have a plug on it. So yeah, let's try to get it on there. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the fender flare bolts, or the inner fender bolts, in on both sides. But I need to go back up to the house and see if I can't find nice screws. I don't really want to have shitty looking self-tappers up here, which they are self-tappers. They're just plastic threaded holes, except for that one. That one's got an insert, and that one's got an insert. But the outer ones don't. They're just plastic and threaded. Why they did it that way, I don't know. But I just don't want to put some crappy looking bolts in there. I'd like them to look half decent, and I don't know if I have anything that'll look better anyway, but I'm assuming they were like this or like these, but there's nowhere I can rob them from to make it right. So let me throw the rest of the hardware in this just to hold it on. Alright, so as you would have guessed it, it's back together now. We have no more warning lights. You know, we had like lights and stuff like that. You know, bulbs out and all that other good happy hooey stuff. So, it's that time for the video when we go to Mexico and test her out. I'm happy to report that this thing drives dead straight. Plenty of power. It's surprising. I mean, like, it's not a powerhouse, but it picks her up.
What I got here is a 2009 Volkswagen CC Sport. It is a 6-speed manual. It has 120,000 miles on it. It's a 2.0 turbo, and it is very nice. I had to replace the front inner fender, the main inner fender, a bunch of bolts, this fender, this headlight, a bracket that goes in behind it. The front bumper is like 10 pieces, and I'm still missing a couple, but they're coming in the mail. There's a reflector that goes here, and a tow hook cover goes there, and it's getting painted. But it's ready for sale. I believe it's already sold, so you'll have to check with me on that. But I'm listing this one for $4,500. It is an R title. I feel like that's a really good deal on one of these things. I haven't seen one online that cheap, so yeah, for $4,500 you could have this nice whip, and it's freaking sweet. I don't really feel like this was much of a reveal, and it mainly because the crappy weather, and I didn't really get to clean the interior. The kid's been texting me all day that wants this. He actually lives right across the street up here, and he really wants it. He wanted to transfer it today, and I said there's no possible way we can do that. I don't even know if we can transfer it or do the R title until I get those 2 reflectors in the front, so he might have to hold on, but he's chomping at the bit. So I'm gonna get a hold of him now that I got this together, and maybe take him through Mexico for a little bit, and just, you know, maybe that'll calm him down until it's ready, you know. But yeah, so that's gonna be the end of this video. Aw, I know, that's sad, but if you like this, go check out some of my other videos, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Quick update. Unfortunately, nobody will be able to be interested in this Volkswagen because it's sold. It is sold.